here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right. You are listening to the home of conservative, not bitter. It is not bitter talk and education here on the Todd Huff Show. It's good to be here, and I appreciate you joining us very much, no matter where you are joining us. And I will tell you, if you're joining us on YouTube or Periscope, you're going to have to find a new way to join us, because those two platforms are, one, Periscope is coming down. I believe it's tomorrow. I think it's being permanently done away with as of tomorrow. And YouTube, as I've shared, and I mean this is not this is not rhetoric here. This is not me having a little bit of fun with YouTube. We have 2 strikes on YouTube for talking about election integrity, and they are going back through old archives of episodes in which they're going through the episodes between Election Day and Inauguration Day, line by line, I think. And so, of course, we talked about those things. And we never made any definitive statements. We talked about things that I think matter, raised questions, pointed out the affidavits. You can't do that. You can't do that on YouTube. So you're going to have to find another place to listen to us. And I think the best place to do that is the podcast, which you can download for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you would listen to podcasts. Or you can also sign up for the newsletter, which is probably the best way to stay in touch with us. Todd at toddhuffshow.com/subscribe. A new issue will be going out today with our new column here. So, folks, I was browsing some things. I had some things ready, and I will still get to them from last night. But I was kind of perusing some things this morning in preparation for the program, and I came across a comment. I don't even know which story this is. I think it's this one. I think I was perusing comments on this lovely story. Oxford music professors suggest scrapping sheet music from curriculum. This is on foxnews.com. Say it's complicit in white supremacy. The faculty members said the curriculum should broaden its music offerings with more studies on non-European forms of music. You may not have considered this quite yet, but this is according to documents reviewed by The Telegraph. Professors said the music notation, sheet music, has not shaken off its connection to its colonial past. I'm not sure how it does that. I'm not sure how sheet music does anything, to be quite honest, besides communicate what someone's written on it. But sheet music needs to somehow shake off its connection to its colonial past. And that sticking to sheet music, the professors, the intellectuals, my dad has a term for this. And I want to be nice here this morning. Please, this is not a broad, this comment is meant to be applied to people who try to prove, say, for example, from the movie JFK, I like this line, theoretical physics can prove that an elephant can hang off the side of the cliff with its tail tied to a daisy, but we have something more important than even the theoretical, and that is common sense. We understand things as human beings. Some things just simply aren't and cannot and defy our common sense. And so for the folks that try to convince us of things that violate basic logic and common sense, my dad had a term, and it was overeducated idiots. Overeducated idiots. I love my dad in the way that he actually can cut to the heart of something sometimes without even, I think, really knowing how he does it. But the term applies here. You have professors here who are now claiming that sheet music is racist. I mean, but on one hand, this is totally not surprising, right? I mean, this is where we are today. But this is my launch point to the bigger issue, because I want to reference one of the comments that was made in response to this article as I was just kind of perusing. someone in the comments shared a quote from the book 1984. I don't know if you've read the book 1984, but let me tell you this. You are living the book 1984 right now. You are living it. It is unfolding before our eyes. George Orwell, also the author of Animal Farm, George Orwell, this is prophetic what he has written here from the book 1984. And this was put into the comments of that article I just referenced, which you can look up, and you can just see the sheer lunacy. Sheet music is tied to colonial times, which of course was slavery times, which of course is racist, which means sheet music is racist. I mean, where does this nonsense stop? But listen to this quote, and I want you to ask yourself, this is again pulled from the book 1984. Whether you've read it or not, hear me say this again. You are living it right now. You are in the midst of living out the book 1984 by George Orwell. Here is what it says. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book... Pause. Did you see? I saw this yesterday. The Biden-Harris administration, or if you prefer the Harris-Biden administration, has literally scrubbed has changed a transcript from a Biden. I don't know if it was official business, or maybe it was even answering questions in the media. But nonetheless, it was an official transcript of what the White House had said, of what the president had said. And the president called some foreign leader, I think by the wrong name. And they went back and they scrubbed it from the record. The president makes no errors, folks. But this quote again says, every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Think about Dr. Seuss. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. I mean, this is literally. Now, George Orwell didn't put in there, your child's elementary school has been renamed. The president of the United States, the 16th president of the United States, who led this nation past and through the Civil War and its primary cause, which was without any doubt the issue of slavery. The one who issued the Emancipation Proclamation, the one who was instrumental in freeing black slaves in this nation, he is not worthy of a school in his name. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. Let me tell you another story. When I was in college back 120 years ago, this is when I was at American University. This may be confusing, just really quickly. I attended Butler University in Indianapolis, which is now hosting some of these NCAA tournament games if you've been watching, and I think that's good for the alma mater. Hinkle Fieldhouse is an awesome venue. I played football there, and we had our locker room in the basement. That's an awesome venue. Tunnel connecting it to the Butler Bowl and all this. Just a really awesome, tremendous building, all the history, Tony Hinkle, all this stuff. The Butler Way. Anyway, that's where I attended, but I spent a semester, my junior year. It was a semester exchange program, so I didn't study abroad per se, but this was, I guess, the domestic version of that. So I went to Washington, D.C. for a semester, did a pre-law program at American University, and I loved it. It's really the beginnings of what I do here today. It really is. The beginnings of what I do on this program and the opportunities and the blessings I have to do this started on that campus 22 years ago now. Anyway, I remember distinctively through my studies. Now that I'm saying this, I was going to tell you it was at American University. This may have actually been at Butler, so that was not necessary in this story. Forgive me. But I was studying and doing a report, I think, on something like the Virginia Declaration of Man, I believe. And I was quite literally, I had heard this before, that historians historians had pointed out that there would be changes to things in textbooks. So you could go back to the original source and then go to the textbook, and you would find that sometimes the authors of textbooks would change words, going back here to George Orwell's 1984 poll quote here that we're focusing on this morning, but they would change words, and they quite literally, I'm going to have to pull this up during the break, the Virginia Declaration of Man, which was written, I believe, by Thomas Jefferson, they quite literally changed, there was reference to belief in God, and they changed it. In my textbook, I remember, and it was a feeling of, we've all seen things that have been, I think, changed like this. We've heard of stories like this. We've heard of textbooks misquoting things or whatever. But to discover it for yourself right there before my very eyes, and this was before, we were at the beginning of the internet era, but there wasn't a Google. There were multiple search engine platforms. Can't even remember what some of them were called. But anyway, it wasn't like you had all this information, which, by the way, it leads to another point. I was talking about this with a friend the other day. Just because we have a whole generation of individuals now that if Google says it doesn't exist, that it never happened. And I've got personal examples. My friend had personal examples too of things that had happened that Google had scrubbed from its search engines. Do this sometimes. Go to DuckDuckGo and Google something. It's got to be something that's got political connotations, especially if it's negative for the left, or if it's positive for conservatism or truth. Just Google it. Google it, and then go to DuckDuckGo. And this isn't a plug for DuckDuckGo. I just compare them. Just compare what you find. You might be Googling something, and you might say, I know this happened, but I can't find anything on this. If you've ever been in that situation, welcome to a Google scrub. That's what this was. It happens. I know it sounds crazy to some of you. Others of you have experienced this or fully on board and say it's even worse than I'm describing. But the point is to see these things and experience them for yourself. You feel violated. You feel completely as though the author, in the case of my textbook, or the readers in the case of people Googling things, have quite literally been the victim of misinformation. And the rest of this quote, I didn't finish the last line, or there's two lines. Back to this Orwell quote. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party, capital P, is always right. Is that not prophetic? Is that not what we are living today? And by the party today, I mean the political ruling class. The political ruling class is always right. Have you ever noticed this? That, for example, which we talked about this yesterday, and we may hit on it again today, the filibuster was never racist before until January 20th, noon, January 20th. Crazy. That's exactly when Biden was being sworn into office, exactly when he was up there giving a sleep fest of a speech, back there when he was standing before dozens of people before his inaugural event, telling us whatever nonsense that he's been telling us, which is little because he's not been in front of the media. It's one of the few times we've seen Biden. But as he was up there telling us this gibberish and nonsensical drivel, we had at the same time, for the first time ever, key components of our system of government that were suddenly, they realized, not good. The filibuster, minority party having any voice whatsoever, those things were decided to be evil and needed to be done away with. In fact, Biden said during his one and only press conference, which was an absolute unmitigated disaster and train wreck, I don't blame him if they never put the guy back in front of cameras ever again, because that was awful. But he said there that We need to change the paradigm. Used to, we had to figure out how to be bipartisan, basically, is what Biden was saying at the press conference. Now, we got to change that paradigm. Biden says, I've got 50 votes if I can get all the Democrat senators on board. And then Kamala, she's our 51st. She's our tie-breaking vote. And so we've got to figure out ways that we can work that in our favor, basically. I know that when we're not in power, he might as well have said this, when we're not in power, 60 votes are necessary to do anything. The Democrats used to filibuster. Gorsuch was filibustered. I think I mentioned this on here. None of the Supreme Courts that Trump nominated would have been actually confirmed had the nuclear option not been enacted on the filibuster. They act as though they never did it, ever. I wonder if you use the filibuster to prevent a white justice from being confirmed. Is that still racist because of its racist ties, just like sheet music is racist? Folks, nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. The government is always right. There's no history. It's all been rewritten. What you Google isn't the full story. It's not even close. Truth is the victim. America is the victim. And we cannot permit this. We are living and breathing the book 1984 as I speak. George Orwell, even with his prophetic writing, and I use that loosely, not in a biblical sense, but just to be able to predict this, I still think he would be shocked to see the degree at which we've embraced, really, what his book warned us about. A quick timeout is in order. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am, by the way, America's reality czar as we navigate 1984. Be back here in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. With so many societal changes, everyone's talking about apprenticeships and college debt. Businesses seek employees with practical problem-solving skills. Visit apprentice.university to learn about our demanding academics and paid apprenticeships in excess of tuition. No debt, in-demand skills, Christian community.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today. Providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price, our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter.
Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com. What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Welcome back. As I sit here and think about the words of the quote from 1984, it makes me want to get myself off the grid entirely, which reminds me this program is brought to you by our friends at Indiana Wooded Paradise. IndianaParadiseRetreat.com is the website. It is located in Morgan County, about an hour south of Indy, 30 minutes north of Bloomington, nestled in 150 acres with hiking, fishing. There's a lake house that's 11,400 square feet. Includes theater, game room, gym, bath, indoor pool, hot tub, sauna. If you have a need for a retreat, maybe you're a church group, a business, check out Indiana Wooded Paradise. The website, again, is IndianaParadiseRetreat.com. They're one of the advertisers on this program. They help make this program possible. They may or may not agree with the content. They certainly should agree with what's said on this show, but they may not. They still help bring this program possible. We got to, folks, support our advertisers. I think it's a very, very important thing. And IndianaParadiseRetreat.com is a way that you can do that and maybe bring some much needed rejuvenation and just that energy that can come from escaping and going into nature and just taking a deep breath from the hustle and bustle from life. And you can escape 1984 for temporarily. Now, even Indiana Wooded Paradise cannot give you a permanent vacation from the realities that we're facing in this nation, but they can certainly help give you a time of relaxation and rejuvenation. Again, I want to go back to this poll quote from the book 1984. And I'm thinking about there's just different things here during the break. I'm thinking about some of the things that we're wanting to do as we continue to grow the program. I mentioned that we have our column, our weekly column that's now part of our newsletter. Now we're making some adjustments to how we do this, but the column comes out today. You can get that by email. ToddHuffShow.com/subscribe. But there's other things we're working on too. I've alluded to a Bible study. And then I was thinking maybe we need to go through, maybe for people who are interested, we go through, say, a book like 1984. Oz asked me during the break, what do we do about this? I mean, it's undeniable. Let me read the quote again if you're just now joining us. And you tell me if we are all not in the middle of this story right now, if we're not all living and breathing 1984 right now, this is one line or one pull quote from the book. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. I mean, folks, it is literally where we are. Literally where we are. The party is always right. Now, they're not really right. Let me make that clear. Truth is objective. Truth is something that applies. It isn't based upon someone's feelings. Now, sometimes we get confused about what truth is. Sometimes we have faulty opinions. But truth, folks, doesn't need you or me to agree with it. Truth is truth. It stands on its own. And it doesn't simply, it isn't simply truth because the majority says that it is. It is truth because it is true objectively. But we live in a world where up is down, day is night, right? All these things happening right before our very eyes. What I read in that poll quote is exactly what's happening to the United States of America. And what do we do? There's a couple of different things to look at here. In fact, I've got a whole talk designed around this very thing. What do we do? What do we do about these things? We can maybe hit some of those highlights. Education is important. See, some people, though, and this is something that is near and dear to my heart, and I got to take a break in a minute, but some people think that it's all education, right? Now, there is a certain value in, of course, knowing what's going on, being informed and educated. But folks, simply knowing what's going on doesn't do anything. The founders knew that King George was a tyrant. The colonists knew that King George was a tyrant, but they did something about it. See, that's the key. You have to take what you know and then do something about it. You see this phrase bantered around, that knowledge is power, and there is an element of truth in that, but it is not completely and totally true. Knowledge is potential power. I'll say that again. Knowledge is just potential power, is what we do with it. And this is, I don't want to say the danger, because there's no danger to talk radio, but the danger sometimes is that people hear and understand and know intellectually what is going on, but we don't take the next steps and do something about it. And that's where my heart is. My heart is not just to know what's wrong, but to do something about it. At my core, and I think many of you, maybe the majority of you, maybe the vast majority of you, at your core, you are a doer. You're a doer. And I think it's important that, we do know. So there is the issue of being educated, informed, piecing this puzzle together so that we can arrive at a point in time where we can read those words from 1984 from George Orwell's book and say, bingo, bango, that's what's happening right now. I am living that. I am breathing that. We are all living that in 2021. We're all witnessing this, the erosion of this great nation and liberty, and this insatiable desire for freedom that always comes at the cost, of not of freedom, but of safety, which comes at the cost of freedom, of liberty. Benjamin Franklin warned us about this, right? He said that if you think that you can, give up your freedom for liberty, or your freedom for safety, I should say, get it right here, you don't deserve either one. These things we must vigilantly protect. And education is important, and understanding is important. I don't think, and this may shock some of you, winning an argument isn't necessarily important. Persuading people is important. But winning an argument, there's the old saying, those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. We have to move the needle. And education is a part of it. But persuasion and actually taking these ideas and making sure that they permeate your local sphere of influence is dramatically more important. You can take, I remember when I was on the school board or when I was in other positions where we would talk about policy and, plan just for the companies I've been involved with, strategic planning and so forth. I came to the conclusion that an average plan that was being executed, that was something that was you could do something with and that people were pushing to be implemented, was dramatically better than a plan that was the best plan ever written that sat on the shelf. And that's what we're talking about at its core. I have to take a timeout. Quick timeout is necessary here. Come back and continue our navigation through this 1984 world that we are finding ourselves in. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back here in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's Conservative Not Bitter University is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill-A-Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Quality glass windows and doors add value to your home or commercial space. At White's Innovative Glass, our family-owned and operated company will work with you to ensure we understand your vision before we begin. And if you don't have a vision, we can help with that too. We proudly stand behind our work and look forward to your call. Right now, we're offering 15% off your next project. Visit our website at whitesinnovativeglass.com/Todd.
There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Welcome back. Thinking here about some of the issues, some of the ways that or some of the issues that prevent us, I guess, from sharing some of the things that we can do, I guess, to help promote freedom, constitutional conservatism, respect and admiration for this country has founded those principles, and know for the umpteenth millionth time that does not include slavery, right? Some people want to say it's an all or nothing proposition. You take that issue out, which the founders did not handle properly, although there was even, issues with that at the beginning as well. There were some folks that were against that issue, the issue of slavery from the beginning, but those voices were not loud enough, and that didn't actually change in this nation until Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War, and we've been dealing with other things since then as well, but we live in a different place, a different nation than we had upon when it was founded. But the ideas that are embodied in that Constitution and Declaration, all that really happened at its core was that we understood, or people that didn't want to apply those to all groups of people were eventually moved into the minority, and those who understood that the law, the truth that was being spoken applied to all people, applied to people who were black, applied to people who were not just men but women. And that's where we are today. You still have individual racists, I'm not going to deny that, but they are becoming a less and less relevant group of people. They're becoming a smaller and smaller group of people. And so there's a lot of things we need to do. I was thinking about this during the break too. I had we had some folks over recently, folks that we care about, and we were talking about I was listening. Believe it or not, when I'm in personal settings, I don't give monologues too often. My wife might tell you that I do. My wife might tell you that, but I don't typically do that, well, maybe with my family, but not with a group of people. I use that time to listen and to learn, and to wait for the opportunity to persuade I think at the right time. Too many people, somebody walks in and says, I'm a liberal, and someone says, I'm a conservative, and we fight. What does that accomplish? I mean, that doesn't accomplish anything. It accomplishes ruining relationships, which I think is critically important. You want to persuade people, you got to first have a relationship with them. You got to be educated. You have to know what's going on, but you also have to know how to do something with what you know. And it is so much better to listen, to ask questions, to build a relationship, and then to get to the point to where someone is actually, because they know you, what do you think about this? It will happen. I'm telling you, if you're thoughtful and engaging, it absolutely will happen. I can't even tell you how many times that's happened with me, and I'm sure many of you would attest to the same thing. But something else that caught my attention from when we were sitting down with our dear friends the other night was that some of them said, hey, I've tuned it out. I've tuned out politics, and I get it. We came through an incredibly intense time leading up to the 2020 election, and then everything that happened after that, the January 6th nonsense, all this stuff happened, right? And it's tense, and people just don't, people have problems in their own lives. They have other things they've got to focus on, and they drift away. They drift away from what's going on, and it can be rejuvenating for a moment. And I say for a moment, because that is not the permanent solution. Because, folks, when you look at what this nation and how it's dealt with issues that have come up throughout its history, there are well-meaning, good-intentioned things that have happened that never fix the problem. What always fixes the problem is an engaged electorate, is the American people knowing what's going on and saying, that's enough. No more shenanigans, government. That's enough. That is when things begin to happen. Because then the politicians, these jokers, these sophists, these professional deceivers are held accountable for their actions. And I'm talking at the ballot box. You got to say these things today because people, oh my goodness, this is a code talk. No, it's not code anything. It's simply when these politicians are acting like tyrants or idiots or a combination of both, overeducated idiots, as my dad would say, we have to do something to get those jokers out of office. And that something is win at the ballot box. And you win at the ballot box by educating and persuading people. And that's what we've got to be better at. That's, by the way, the foundation of Conservative Not Bitter University. That's what we seek to do there in a way that's a little bit more hands-on than this show can be. We're talking about issues here. This is, I guess you think about this as bigger picture, and then CNBU is more specifically designed to help train and equip conservatives to be more persuasive, or whatever the course is, but that's one of them. Help explain to a conservative Christian what your role is in a constitutional republic, right? These are important things. We're never really taught these things. Maybe you have someone that's explained it to you, but there's not some wide scale, I guess, program designed to do this. That's what we're trying to do. But folks, we've got to take little steps that will eventually move turn into big movements. Because we have truth on our side. We have truth on our side. It's just our job to communicate it, to not cower, to not be told we can't say it, to not be told we can't ask a question about it. Otherwise, that's when bad things happen. We've got to be engaged. We can take a break. I'm not saying that. You can turn it off for a little while, but you can't turn it off and walk away and think that it's going to go away, especially when the other side is hell-bent over taking control of every aspect of your life. And that's what we've got. Hence the reference to the book 1984 earlier in the program. Got to take a break. You're listening here, the home of Conservative Not Bitter Talk. Be advised, listening can in fact cause you to lean to the right. Back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, Care to Change, and Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 down, $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freegee, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freegee, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freegee, owner and lead auctioneer at Freegee & Freegee Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Welcome back. Between the nonsense we have to listen to coming out of the Biden administration, Harris-Biden, Biden-Harris, whatever they want to call it today, the nonsense we have to listen to there, the talk of vaccine passports, I mean, there is no shortage of things that point to the quote in Orwell's book. Again, I'm going to read it one more time in case you're just now tuning in. Got to get better at getting here earlier, but we'll allow it. You can always catch the program on podcast if you missed it, but it says this, and we've been talking about this today. Every record, this is from George Orwell's 1984, has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. The party being the political class, the party being the Harris-Biden administration, the party being the Democrat Party, the media, the narrative of the day. History has stopped because, folks, they rewrite history. Many people have no idea what's preceded today. As we come to the end of the first quarter of 2021, many folks have no idea what preceded this day. I know the great Rush Limbaugh used to say many people believe history. They know intellectually this isn't true, but emotionally and psychologically, history began the day that they were born. And that is a terrifying place to be, because history teaches us all sorts of things if we just want to pay attention. We know that governments grow. That is the nature of government. That is why the founders had to put in place a constitution that, in writing, restricted what the federal government could do. Now, the federal government is well outside the bounds of that written document today. Because why? Because we are not demanding that it fits back into that original framework. We're not. Now, you and I might be, but not enough of us. And why aren't enough of us? Because they can change the narrative. They can spin the story with the help of their buddies in the media. And the solutions always require more government, less constitution, less liberty, every single time, folks. I don't know at what point some folks will just wake up and see this. Some folks have no idea. I understand that. They're oblivious. but this is always a solution. How stupid can we be? That's not a challenge and a test, by the way. Some people out, not in this audience, but some people out across the fruited plain take that as a personal test to see how stupid they can be. But folks, we have truth on our side. We need to tell more people about it. You got to take a break. Come back and wrap up here in a minute. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS, too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Not again! There's never any hot water left for my shower. Everyone else gets a nice long soak, and I'm left with ice water. I'm calling Commercial Service about their latest offer on tankless water heaters. I can save up to $800 on an installation. No more cold showers for me.
Call the partner you can trust. Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service. Commercial grade service for your home.
Welcome back. I left out one of the obvious ways to help people understand the beauty of this nation, the importance of liberty. And that is a tune into this program. I mean, that is, of course, the starting point. But you knew that already, right? You knew that already. Get people to tune in here to this program. But, folks, there are things that we can do as well. And we have to be willing to engage. We have to be willing to persuade. Because if we don't, we are in for an even ruder awakening than we have right now, realizing we're living in the midst of 1984. It's not time to panic. It's time to act, right? It's time to do something. It's time to try to persuade and try to engage people who think some of these ridiculous things. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, and that's okay. It's going to take time, And that's the way it just has to work. So I have lots of ideas on that. The time is out, but I've got to go. SDG, thanks so much for listening. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.